Hey everyone, Darren Eastman here with Gina Doyle. Welcome to the 15.2 Runner Group Iteration Plan. I'm so happy to have Gina joining us again on today's call. The last time it was super boring by myself. So without further ado, Gina is going to cover Runner Fleet and everything that's happening with UX.
Okay, awesome. I'll start sharing what we have for this milestone. So here's our plan for the Runner Fleet team for 15.2, and I'm going to start just going through some of the front end issues, and a lot of the issues that we're taking on this milestone are related to our OKRs, which are to improve the SUS score that we have for GitLab. So one of those is bulk deleting runners for the admin view. And there is some back-end work that needs to be done for this. And basically it will just allow you to be able to delete many runners at the same time. This really goes hand in hand with our stale status. So if your runner hasn't been used over in 90 days, then we would recommend you delete it. Another issue that we'll be taking on is adding a summary of outdated runners in the admin area. So this is an additional iteration to adding just that a runner has an upgrade available, but we'll give you a count so that you have a really quick view of how many runners are outdated in your fleet. And then one other one that I wanted to point out was that we're working on creating a root project for a project runner. So today, when you have a project runner, you can share it with other projects, but there's not really any way of just determining who was the one, which project that runner originated from. So this would allow us to declare like an owner project for that runner so that you have a point of contact to go to if you wanted to change the configuration or whatnot. On the UX side, we're going to be starting prep for category maturity for Runner Fleet. So we'll be recruiting in 15.2 and getting external customers to be able to talk to and run our category maturity plan for. And then, and by the way, we're shooting for complete there. We're at viable right now. And then we also are wrapping up solution validation for our new runner view. This is really just because we're carrying out moderated sessions with customers in 15.2. So we will be scheduling those, and then we'll hopefully have enough information to be able to create that new runner list view. That's it from the Runner Fleet side. Darren, do you want to talk about Runner Core and SaaS?
Yeah, I gotta unmute myself. Absolutely. Thank you. That's super awesome. And as always, just so much interesting and cool work happening in the Runner Fleet category. We made boundless strides in both the experience at the admin level and the group level over the past few months. And so I'm looking forward to see what we do in the back end of this year. So without further ado, in terms of the remainder of the runner category for 15.2, I will cover what's happening in Runner Core. And just to remind everyone, Runner Core is the core binary itself, the GitLab Runner engine, sort of the brains of the operation. So for 15.2, as always, we continue to heavily invest in the burn down of HP2 bugs. And so you can see this is some of the bugs we've got focused on at the moment in 15.2. In terms of new features, I'm going to touch just on one. The key new feature that we'll be looking to implement in the Runner Core code base in 15.2 is this heavily requested feature over the past few years, which basically is allowing the user to specify a root folder for artifacts. And the value proposition is that, to simplify today, you do, as a user, when you upload artifacts to GitLab, the path is somewhat hard-coded or predefined. And what users want to do is when they're able to specify specific folder directories in order to create a zip or tar file. And so the proposal at the moment is to then allow, during the creation of the artifact process, allow the user to specify a root directory. And so then with that feature in place, you can zip up a specific path, if you will, in terms of, I want to use this path, I want to include this path and the files on this path, which I've defined as my root in my zip or tar file. So this is a heavily requested feature. It has over 235 uploads. It's been out there for a bit. We believe we have a path forward with implementing this finally in the Runner code base here in 15.2. So super excited about that. Moving on to Runner SaaS. We don't have any new features planned to ship in 15.2 in Runner SaaS. We're spending most of our time in 15.2, or all of our time in 15.2, really on working through a number of tech debt items. And so everything you see here in our 15.2 iteration plan, which is publicly available and open for everyone to take a look at, as we click through these issues, they're mostly on maintenance activity related to ensuring that we can deliver a reliable and scalable platform for Runner SaaS. So that's it in terms of new features for Runner Core. The main thing to look out for in 15.2 is the ability to specify a root folder for artifacts. And then on the Runner SaaS side, again, we're doing some things in terms of technical debt. Just before we wrap up, I just want to again call folks' attention, because we haven't talked about it in a bit. We do have category direction pages for each of these categories, and we revise these pages at the end of each release milestone. So there's a page here under about@gitlab.com/direction verify for Runner Core. There's one for Runner SaaS, and then there's one for Runner Fleet. And so when you go to each of these pages, it gives you a high-level view of some of the big ticket items that we are planning, some of the strategic items we are planning per quarter. So you can get like this high-level sort of like 20,000-foot view, if you will, of where things are headed. And then as we do in these iteration kickoff meetings, you're kind of seeing what's actually happening from a tactical perspective in each milestone. So that's it for 15.2. Looking forward to a great release. Anything else to wrap up before we wrap up here, Gino? No, everyone, see you next time when we do the 15.3 kickoff by about a month. Cheers.